Hi friends, how are you? It's Miss Drywa. So for this week for math, since we had a week off, we're going to do another week of making equal groups to divide. This will be good practice and review since we did take this wonderful, much deserved week off. And then we'll be able to move on to the next step of a division. Okay, so that's what we're going to focus on today, this week. It's going to be more of a review. Just to make sure everyone's in the same spot that we left off last week before. Okay, so let's get started. So division, making equal groups. So let's review. I know we talked about these all week before our break, but we have our addition symbol, right? We use that when we're adding. We have our subtraction symbol, our minus sign. We use this when we are subtracting. We have our multiplication symbol. We use this when we're multiplying. And now we have our division symbol. And this one we use when we're dividing. Okay, and that's what we're going to be focusing on this week and then next week as well. Okay, so this is a whole division equation. Remember, we have 35 here is our dividend. This is the number that needs to be divided equally into groups. Okay, we have our division symbol, and then we have our divisor, right? This is how many groups we're going to have. This is the one who is actually going to be dividing up this 35. He needs to be divided, and our divisor is the one who does the divising. Okay? We have our equal sign, and then we have here our answer, or our quotient. That's the fancy term that we call an answer in a division problem, right? And remember, we talked about these two numbers can be alternated because it's kind of like a backwards multiplication. If I was to do 5 times 7 equals 35. If I switched them and made it 7 and 5, it would be 7 times 5 equals 35. So they could be switched in a multiplication problem and they can be switched in a division problem as well. Okay, so let's go over, there were a few special rules that we talked about during our live lesson. And when we have 8 divided by 1. Well, I had told you that any number divided by 1 is that same number, just like in multiplication. Well, if you look at it this way, if I took my one equal group, right, my one group, because my second number tells me 8 divided by 1, I need to divide 8 by one group. And now I take my 8 and I have to put it in my group. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I count how many are in my group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I only have one group to count. So 8 divided by 1 equals 8. So it could be 10 divided by 1 equals 10. 20 divided by 1 equals 20. 30 divided by 1 equals 30. It could be 250,000 divided by 1 would be 250,000. Just like in multiplication, any number divided by 1 is that same number. Okay? Now we have our zero rule. Just like in multiplication, any number divided by 0 is going to equal 0. Because friends, if I have 10, and it needs to be divided into 0 groups, how many groups do I make? 0. 0 groups. So if I have 0 groups, then I have 0 in each group because I can't divide it if I don't have any groups. That's like saying I have all these lollipops and I want to divide them, but I have no one to divide them with. Or there's no one who wants a lollipop. Well, I'm not going to give anyone a lollipop if nobody wants a lollipop. So any number divided by 0 equals 0. So it could be 250 million thousand, and it would be the same, it would be 0. Always going to be 0. So 1 divided by 0, 0. 17 divided by 0, 0. 250 divided by 0, 0. You could go until infinity divided by 0, 0. Okay, so any number divided by 0 equals 0. Then we have 4 divided by 4 here. Well, any number divided by that same number, well, it's going to give you 1. But let's see. Let's give it a try. So I have 4 that needs to be divided into 4 groups. So I make my 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I have to divide my 4 evenly. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many do I have in each group? Well, I see 1, I see 1, I see 1, I see 1. So I have 1 in each group. So 4 divided by 4 equals 1. Okay, so our division rules to remember, friends. Any number divided by 1 equals that same number. Any number divided by 0 always equals 0. And any number divided by the same number equals 1. Right? So that's what we're going to focus on today. All right, friends, so great job. Until we see each other again tomorrow.